Hi everyone, Jeff from GamerPops here, and today we've got a special double review feature for you. We're going to be looking at Pushmo World, developed by Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo, then later we'll review Shovel Knight, developed and published by Yacht Games. So let's get right into it. So starting with Pushmo World, this is a puzzle game boasting about 250 puzzles that require you to push and pull on structures so you can climb and jump them to rescue trapped children at or near the top. It starts off fairly easy enough, with a fairly thorough tutorial, but once the training wheels come off, the puzzles jump and challenge quickly. So what we're looking at right here is sort of the overworld, and we can see a couple things have just opened up. We've got the Pushmo Park, which is the main puzzle area. Papa Block is sort of the guidance hint guy. Training areas where you can learn to play the different types of the different types of techniques you're going to need to do these puzzles. So we're going to look at a couple of example puzzles here. And as you can see, at this point, this is as far as I got into the mural section. These are the level 1 challenges that each area's got about 10 different puzzles to play with, and these are the basic lessons that you start out with. This is the tutorial that I was speaking of. So I'm going to, after you've cleared them, you can go back and play them again, obviously. As you can see, I've cleared all of these ones by this point. And they're given there's a little star rating there. Each of these is a 1-star rating. Maybe the last one or two might be a 2-star. And we're just going to go in and play this one particular one. So as you can see, navigating is pretty simple. Each puzzle works on 3 different planes. You can pull the blocks out up to 3 different spots, and that's about it. Even though it looks deceptively simple, as you go along, only being able to work on 3 different levels gets pretty hard. This is a pretty simple puzzle. Just pull a few out, and we're done and clear. So for this, we're going to try something a little more difficult. Again, nothing too taxing. I've already done this one before, so hopefully I remember how to do it fairly quickly this time. You'll notice here what I've done is I've been able to zoom out, get a view of the whole puzzle by hitting the R button. Beyond using the L button to rewind time and the R button for getting the whole view of the puzzle, it's basically just A to jump and B to pull. So I've skipped ahead a little bit here, just for the sake of time, and you can see I've actually fell off the cliff there, and it's telling me, I can't get back up there now, so I've either got to press this reset switch or I can rewind using the L button. So in this case, just because I missed the jump, I'm just going to go ahead and start all over again. You can see I could rewind time to a certain extent, so essentially it's an undo. I liked Pushmo World for a lot of reasons. As you can see, it's quite adorable, and the puzzles are great for working on a child's creative thinking, or an adult's for that matter. You might lose younger children fairly quickly when the difficulty starts to spike, but I can see older kids doing okay with this a little bit longer. I also like that you can play as little as much as you want. You can see the puzzles don't really take too long, and if you get really stumped with a puzzle, you can go ahead and skip and come back to it later. Be warned, because of its length and because of how addictive it is, there is a healthy one more puzzle aspect and element to this game, and to the point where you could find yourself actually playing a lot of quote-unquote one more puzzles, just because you may take you a while, yeah, boy, this one's tough, I'm gonna quit for this one. Then you finally get and go, yes, I got that, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'll do one more. I got one more in me. Besides, how can you not love a game that finds a way to make a puzzle out of a gigantic cow? I mean, look at this. It's a cow. Anyway, as I'm just finishing this puzzle off, just figuring out, pulling out one more, so you can also pull from the sides as well, which will help things. And actually realize, I better pull this one out. One more from the side. And there's the trapped child. Aw, he's sad. But now he's happy again because I saved him. And that's sort of the loose story around Pushmo World, is you're going around and trying to rescue these children who've somehow gotten trapped in these Pushmo puzzles. It's a little strange, but, it fits the bill. For $10 on the Nintendo eShop, Pushmo World offers pretty good value. I'm not sure why it wasn't also offered on the 3DS. I think it would be a pretty good fit there, but the Wii U is better off for it, having it as basically an exclusive. It's a solid puzzler that offers plenty of challenge for any age. If you're looking for something that will challenge your brain and look positively adorable while doing it, then Pushmo World is definitely worth a look, either for you, your kids, or both. I give it a 4 out of 5. Up next, we have Shovel Knight. Retro-style 8-bit visuals are a popular thing with independent developers these days, and Shovel Knight is a fun little homage to classic NES games of yore. It's basically a 2D, side-scrolling adventure platforming game that looks like it comes straight from the quote-unquote blow the cartridge to get it work era. Some might call it a Metroidvania-style game, mashup of Metroid and Castlevania games, though it only contains certain elements of that genre, so I would hesitate to use that myself. Yes, you see that right. His primary weapon is a shovel, which he uses to dispense of enemies, and also he can use it as a attack from above type move as well. As you can see, we can go from area to area. Again, for those who played a Castlevania game and a Metroid game, you kind of recognize how this looks. You see we're digging for treasure here in a sort of secret area. Now we have to work our way back. So not only is this game old school in the looks, sound, and gameplay department, it's also old school in the difficulty department. There are some downright tricky sections, especially some of the platforming areas, and the margin for error is very small. I died a lot making this video, and I'm sparing you seeing most of that because, frankly, it's embarrassing sometimes my lack of skill with this game. But it just goes to show you that it's it may look easy, but it's certainly not. And while death and sometimes multiple deaths is inevitable, Shovel Knight does try to spike a balance between difficult and sadistic by using a fairly generous checkpoint system. And we'll see those later. They're little balls that once you pass them, they light on fire, and that's the checkpoint you'll go back to should you fall in battle, and you probably will. You'll lose some money when you die, but you do have a chance to get it back if you dare. Basically, where you die is where the bags of your loot that you've lost will sit there going, hey, come back and get us. You could do this time. And, go ahead. Sometimes it'll tempt you right into another death again, and then you lose that money forever. But, again, it's up to you depending on how skilled and brave you are. If you're really brave, the checkpoints themselves can actually be destroyed for various rewards. But if you do so and you die, you'll respawn much further back in the level. Obviously, because the checkpoint doesn't exist anymore. Now, Shovel Knight has a bit of sense of humor to it, too, which is kind of refreshing. I mean, beyond carrying a shovel as one's primary weapon, the story, some of the characters, and a lot of the dialogue, and we won't see any of it here, but you can go into an overworld and speak with characters who are like half horse, half human, or have various other quirks to them. A lot of everything this game has a sort of tongue-in-cheek thing going on, besides just being an homage to games of yore. It's an almost serious game that doesn't take itself too seriously, and that ends up making it probably even more enjoyable. So this game is $15 on the eShop, which, given the amount of content, is actually pretty decent value. Whether you're a fan of 8-bit remakes or not, obviously, that's up to you. But the value is good for the title, and it's a really solid game. A lot of people are absolutely gushing about the game. I mean, it's a good game, and although some of that could be bias on their part, thinking back to the glory days of NES gaming, they even reproduced the color palette for the most part for this game. It's really good. But at the end of it, it's a very solid game. Not Game of the Year material, obviously, but it has a lot going for it. I would give it a solid 4 out of 5. Now, all that said, kids may enjoy watching this game, but it's really it may be too hard for the younger kids. Older kids will appreciate it for a while until they start dying a lot. Then they may lose patience. But just something to keep in mind if you have kids who are interested. It is rated E, so it is it is somewhat appropriate for them, despite all the violence that seems to be going on here. But at the end of the day, I think I'd be more concerned about the level of difficulty than the content itself. So that's our look at Pushmo World and Shovel Knight. A couple of games both available on the Nintendo Wii U, and that's what we reviewed it for on this platform. Give us a shout at GamerPops on Twitter, or check our website, GamerPops.com. Also, continue checking our YouTube channel. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think about this this double feature and some of the new videos we're doing. We'd love to hear from you and get your comments. And that's it. So check us out, youtube.com/GamerPops, GamerPops.com, and at GamerPops on Twitter. Until next time, this is Jeff Peters, managing editor at GamerPops.com. I'll talk to you later.